What's up, good people? So, I did not like the Swizz Project Hip Hop Volume 2. I thought it was trash, and I talked about this. But for some reason, I never heard the song, Take 'Em Out. So I'm going to play it, and I'm going to give you my live reaction to it. I think this is obviously the dopest song by far. And for some reason, I remember thinking that it should have been on volume two. I was like, oh, isn't Scarlett actually on this thing? And then when I didn't hear her, I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're saving it for another day or whatever. But this is actually the song that Scarlett has ended up on. So let's play it, give you my opinion. All right, start off with Onyx. I remember when Flex had this as a preview. It was hard. It was hard. Let's go. Let's go. Hey. I'm not gonna harmonize it. I'm apologizing. Jada, man. Nasty. Back pop. Hey. Hey, this too shiesty. Lightly. Come on, man. Spicy. Jada is nasty. We know this already. One of the greatest rappers ever. I don't need to tell you. This is obvious. So like I was saying, I remember when Flex played this briefly, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds hard." And he was like, "This is hard." And he was like, "Yeah." So Jada goes in. Really, obviously, I think that's the strongest part of the song. His verse, he spits for a longer verse, but material, razor, plate, you see the profit rising. That shit, you see lyricism. See how it's like very, very specific imagery, right? That's how you know somebody that can really rap, because they're telling a story, they're painting a picture. It's very specific. It's not abstract. I don't need to be like, oh, what the fuck is he talking about? It's like, I know exactly what you're talking about because I can picture it. Now, what does it mean is something different. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where you start getting obviously into the intellectual stuff. I can start to say, okay, all right, I can picture what you're showing me, but what does it mean? And I can then start to think and really, like, when you're doing something great, obviously sometimes things can have double meanings and shit like that. But my point is this: it's got to be clear. It can't be vague. You know what I'm saying? Like, then that's what makes for great writing: clarity. Number one. It's the hardest shit to pull off, honestly. It's really hard to be clear. So I'm loving the way that Jada comes on, and obviously, like I said, the beat. This is easily the strongest beat. This is a dope beat. Easily one of the dopest beats of this year, without a doubt. It's not like the greatest beat I've ever heard, honestly. Obviously, Swizz has had better beats than this, but this is a good beat. It's a good beat. It's not a crazy beat, but it's a good beat. It gets the energy. And like right away, this is one thing I like about this beat and with good beats in general. The moment I hear it, I remember it. It's like, stored in the brain because it just captivates, right? If it doesn't do that, you probably don't have a great beat. You know how many times I've listened to, insert your favorite rapper, Joey Badass, Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I've checked out their tracks and I've completely forgotten that I've ever listened to them. That's not a good sign. You know what I'm saying? That's a sign of a whack beat. That's a sign of a whack song. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always going to remember this just because the first time it just captivated me. That's all it is. Anyway, we keep going. Jada spin. Tough guys play the bathroom. They looking for fire, I put the gas to them. Bullshit. This part, I wasn't really crazy about. This is cool. This is all good. This is all good. It's cool. It's cool. Specific. Real intimate cigar in a glass of vino, big business shit. So, again, very, very specific. I'm looking at this lyrics here, but brunch with the plug, sea bass, spinach dip. Like, again, it's like, finer taste, like, again, very specific. And that's what I like about Jada. This is what's great about great rappers. The verse overall, I think, is definitely a good verse. There are parts of it, again, this is a nitpick, but it almost feels like there are parts of it where, I don't know how to describe it, but let me show you if I can give an example. It's almost like he punches in at a different time, if that makes sense. So it's not fluid the entire way. And I kind of wish that especially for a beat like this, he should have just kept going. It's almost like that. It felt like very sort of like sectioned off and choppy in a sense, you know? Like, all this is great.
Body really dropping. A couple funerals and get the city back popping. Nothing on the dope,
you know,
get the city back popping. If you see me in the club, I got the pretty
back popping.
Yeah, so don't
Get too feisty. Too shisty. This is all good. This is cool. This is great. Icy. The too icy. So you see how there's that kind of like pause before he's like, all tough guys play the bathroom. Like, like to me, I didn't really like the pauses to a certain degree, you know? I thought it would just been, if it was, you know, the beat, it's like, let's go, keep going, like that kind of energy, you know? So the pauses kind of fucked it up in my opinion. But anyway, now we're gonna continue, right? The Butcher, whack-ass Butcher. Friends. Huh? Okay. Huh? What? What the fuck are you talking about? Okay, I ball like Walt Disney crossed with Walt Frazier with Goyard wallpaper? That's trash. See, I've been telling y'all about these Griselda niggas, man. These guys cannot fucking rap, okay? They cannot fucking rap. Benny the Butcher sounds lost on this record. Like, he has the shortest verse, too. I don't even know why he's on this shit. It was probably a favor or some shit. Like, he sounds lost. Like, damn, what's going on? What's the beat? You spin some bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Again, no actual, you know, no quotables, no nothing. It's just, you spit a couple of lines. I don't remember anything you said because it's all very vague and kind of lame and boring. And of course, vocally boring. I'm not a fan. You know, never rest until you put it to sleep. Oh, that was trash. That was hot garbage. Anyway, we keep going. Obviously, in the middle, weakest verse. Let's get to Scarlett. Alright. It's all good. Hey. But it's all good. Okay. Alright. Right away. DMX is in the background, okay? Again, like spiritually letting you know this is his daughter rapping, right? I do like how Scarlett came on the song. You know, I don't love it, but I like it. It's okay. Like I said, she's got some sort of vocal charisma. It's a little bit there. But again, as I said in the review, this is DMX impersonator shit. And even when, you know what threw me off? When she said, it's all wood. I remember being like, like, it's funny because that little phrase, I never heard that phrase until DMX said it. I don't know if that's like a common New York thing. Like I said, I'm not from New York. But I never heard the phrase "it's all wood" until DMX said that shit. And I remember thinking even back then, we're talking like 98 when this album came out. I remember thinking, all wood. Like, okay, that's fly. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. I don't really know what he means by that necessarily. Like, it's like it's all good, but it's all wood, whatever. Like, it's like his own flip on it. But, you know, specific things like this, what I'm trying to say is that MCs, again, great MCs have things. They say certain phrases. They said certain things that is really just them. And it only really works for them. And when other people start to say it, it's very like, why would you say that? Like, are you riding dick? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's them. They're the only ones that can say that because or the only people from that area, that hood can say that because that shit makes sense. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for you to take on that identity, but whatever. We keep going. So. Niggas do the things they do, say the things they say, move the way they move, drink the way they drink, true the way they chew. I just brought out homie and the bullet is the proof. Shit that make the body hot, shit that make your body drop, shit that make your body shake, probably get you out of who got the keys to my beamer? Pretty face, slim waist, fat as Selena. Girl, tall, break necks, have you seen her? Whatever. bounce. Whatever. Okay. Yeah, okay. So that was mediocre. But how she came on it initially, those first couple of bars, good energy, you know, dope overall. But, you know, that was my favorite, you know, of the whole bunch, without a doubt. Tell me, do you know? So yeah, you know, Swizz, it's funny, he'll always come through with one decent beat, right? At least usually it'd be one crazy fucking beat and the rest would be trash. But that's Swizz to me. Like Swizz, I don't necessarily think his hit rate is that great, but when he hits, it's fire. It's like the craziest shit you've ever heard. You know what I'm saying? I think Swizz has always kind of been like that, if I'm being honest. Now, obviously, his hit rate ratio was higher when he first came out because he was hungry, right? So now it's like, you know, every other year, you'll get a good beat from him type of thing. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on it. I didn't want to be like a hater because, like I said, if I hear something that I like, I love to hear good shit. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that Take 'Em Out song is one of the better songs I've heard this year. Peace.